Okay, guys, here we are with Piero Giglione, the master franchisee of Digital Coach Spain. And I want to ask a few questions to Piero in order for him to share his experience with Digital Coach. First of all, Piero, what was your dream, your goal before you joined the Digital Coach project as a franchisee?
Yeah, hi everyone. So basically, my dream, I always wanted to become an entrepreneur. And so basically, I decided to join the franchisee model of Digital Coach because actually I was firstly in love with the educational sector. And of course, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So basically, I found the perfect way in order to do that because actually it was the opportunity for me in order to set up a company from, let's say, scratch in another country, but with all the support of the franchising formula. So basically, I had a lot of help in order to start the business and make it work.
Okay. What obstacles were you encountering that had prevented you before realizing your dream, before the digital coach experience? Well, I mean,
Yeah, of course. So basically, like I'm now, right now, I'm 29 years old. So of course, I didn't have a lot of work experience. I didn't know a lot of stuff after, before of doing this kind of business. Like there are a lot of stuff when you become an entrepreneur that you need to learn. Basically, now I know it actually, and so I was lacking of work experience from one side and entrepreneurial skills from the other side because actually my family, they were normal employers and employees. So basically, of course, they didn't taught me during the years how to become an entrepreneur. And so I was lacking about the entrepreneurial, let's say, skills and also enough work experience in order to manage all the business operations, let's say.
okay. What did you find motivating and helpful about the opportunity to become an online entrepreneur with digital coach instead of doing it alone by yourself?
Of course, like I think the problem that a lot of entrepreneurs encounter when they want to start a company is that you need to understand exactly what is your target, exactly what is the solution, the product, the service that can solve a problem with the target, that the target is able to pay and which is like competitive. And this is actually really helpful if you do a franchising formula with digital coach, because actually you already have um, an understanding with 10 years of experience of what is the problem of the people in the digital marketing sector and in everything that basically they do. And of course you already have a system with services, products, communication that can really help from one side the customer and on the other side that already works. So basically it's, of course, if you open the business in another country, you're matter to understand exactly the pricing point and how to change, let's say, adapt the communication. But let's say that the 97% of the work is already done. If you work in Italy, of course, they already have an amazing brand, and we are also expanding the brand on internationally. And so, like, this is the main points of why to work with digital coach in franchising.
Okay, thanks, Piero. And how has digital coach trained you and your staff to run the business?
So basically, I at the beginning and until right now, I'm doing at least one call per week with Luca. And basically, for example, in these days, I'm doing more than one. And they helped me at the beginning in order to understand every part of the business, how it was run and how it was working. So basically, I understood how to set up the website, how to translate the website, how to hire the right professors, how to make the right education, how to set up the platform in order to deliver courses, how to do campaigns in Google Ads, Facebook Ads, and all of that. And of course, they train me about how to, for example, hire a sales team, hire people, and all this stuff. And so, like, what I really liked about the training is that, of course, is like constant. So you don't have just 1 month of learning and then you have to do everything by yourself. And so from one side, it's continuous learning with their help. And on the other side, that basically you're able to learn everything you don't know. So if you're really good in digital marketing, you learn about management, for example. And if you're really good in sales and management, you learn about getting leads and digital marketing.
Okay, thanks, Piero. Can you describe some of the early milestones and some of the first satisfaction you have achieved after a few months after your startup? Because we know that startup, Piero has just started up in the month of September, so it's just like 4 or 5 months of real commercial startup. But can you already share some of the main milestones you reached?
Yeah. So basically, what I really liked about this model is that actually it's really scalable, which means that you can start with a lot of investments or without a lot of investments. And so basically, what I liked is that right now, basically, I don't have a huge sales team, but anyway, we have been able to start selling, start basically testing everything, you know. So right now, I'm running Facebook ads campaigns. I'm getting more or less 800, 1,000 leads per month. I'm managing all the leads. I'm following basically the strategy of digital coach lead in order to convert leads into customers. And so basically, milestones have been that actually advertising is working, and of course that we are converting leads into customers, and we're earning right now more or less 15,000 euros per month. And so this is the first milestone we get, and now the objective of the next quarters are like multiplying the earnings by scaling, basically. So investing more, having a bigger team, and also targeting the B2B sector. So this is exactly the situation in which I am.
Right, because for the moment you work just on the B2C side of the business, right?
Correct.
Because
Yeah.
we didn't you didn't have enough time for your startup to start up also the B2B part of the business. Okay, and can you tell us how many students you already reached?
Yeah, we actually reached the 100 students. So basically,
Oh,
I'm
that's so
actually
I
really
didn't know that
yeah,
you reached exactly the 100. I'm very happy
yeah,
you reached that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I think it's 101, 102, something like that. I didn't count it exactly, but yeah, we surpassed the 100 students. So actually, I'm really happy about that.
Okay, okay, very, very good. After like 4 months is a very good results. And for concern given the startup, what results do you think you can achieve in the next few years, considering also the fact that you just started just the B2C side of the business, and you obviously the startup is very the most difficult moment of a new company.
Yeah, of course. So basically, yeah, the startup phase I think is really the hardest one, because you need to achieve, let's say, you need to do a lot of stuff. You know, you need to have the right team, you need to have the right ads, you need to have the right processes and all that stuff. So what I was
And
saying,
this is in a franchising model. Imagine if you had to
yeah,
build
ex-
everything that has to do with
yeah,
the company. I mean, you had just to take care about the marketing and sales. If you had to build everything, is amazing. I mean,
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And so nothing about the future results. I'm actually positive because, as I said, the business is really scalable. So right now we understood which kind of formula it works. Now it's a matter of first optimizing the formula, and so getting a better earnings and margin, better revenue and margins. Then of course we want to go in the B2B sector, and then we want to go investing more basically in ads and converting more customer, let's say, leads into students, you know. And so I'm actually positive. I can think in the near future to double the revenues with the strategies they give me. And of course, I think really like as every entrepreneur, you know, like the more you understand that you and the more you optimize, and the more in this franchising I get the help of a business that is running this kind of stuff since 10 years. So they are in a situation in which they're a lot more developed with a lot of processes that I can implement. And so also the learning and optimizing for me is faster rather than staying in just a startup by myself, you know. And so I'm really positive about the results.
okay. Thank you very much. What is your goal in 3 5 years? Let's say in 5 years, what goals would you like to reach, and you think you might reach?
Yeah, so if we talk about, let's say, in the, let's say, near future, my first
Oh,
goal
yes.
reaching
In
is
2 years.
reaching. Yeah, like I just answer like, because I have objectives in the, let's say, near future, which is like I want to reach the 1 million revenues per year. And if you talk with me about 10 years, let's say I don't have a specific objective or result, because of course as everything is gonna change, and we don't know where we're gonna be. But anyway, I want to be part of this kind of business, running this kind of company. And talking about revenue and all the stuff, I think that this company is gonna be like international, and with a lot of new services, courses, and all that stuff. So I can really, I think that economically we can really reach high level of revenues, millions. And on the, let's say, um, on the business side, I really can think that we can change the lives of many students that can really start, for example, to in the B2B side, in the B2B side, to get new jobs that basically can have the life of their dreams, and B2B that can really do this digital transformation and start multiplying the revenues, like many companies are doing in this kind of digital transformation sector.
Very good. Thanks very much, Piero, for your testimonial, and see you soon. Okay. Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.